Hey Bloomington North, I'm talking today to you to give you a little bit of insight to the library website. My name is Miss Dehoff and I'm the librarian here, and since we're going to be living remotely in some form or the other for a little bit, I just thought it would be helpful to give you some tips on how to access what we have in our digital library. So this first video is going to give you just a preview of what our library website looks like, and then I'll have a few other short videos to show you how to use it to its full extent. So I'm going to minimize myself and we'll just go ahead and get into it. Okay, for starters, we are going to be in the, I guess the easiest way to access the website is to go to the Bloomington North webpage, and it's on the right-hand side. So I have a tab there, and it's super, it's pretty much right in front of your face once you log in. And once you're on our site, it provides a few links that will just help you get what you want. So without getting into further detail, because as I mentioned, I'll have some other videos about this. If you are looking for something and you know the name, or you know the title, you know the author, you know the subject, this is where you will go to search for all of your books. If you're looking for rules, the rules are stated in the middle column. And to go ahead and go over that a little bit with you, what it contains is some information about our hours. It refers to different ways that the library is used, general policies, some of the things that we care about while we're in the library and at the high school. And just note that once you have a chance to read some of our rules, know that this is always a work in progress, especially this year. So, you know, I'm going to be in school every day that I'm allowed to be, and I always answer my emails or any kind of contact. So let me know if you have further questions about this. And just, it really comes down to the bottom line of under our hours, which is just check for updates before and after, about before and after school library times, and just everything, because as the world gets healthier, we're going to adjust for more people and time in the library. Um, One of the hardest parts about this is not being able to work with kids in the way that we're used to. So just know that even though we won't be as open as much as we used to be in the way that we are accustomed, we will go back to that as soon as we are, as soon as we can. Next, on the right hand side, I wanted to just show you some reading lists. And since we will not be allowing browsing for the time being, this might be a good spot to just check and see what some of the titles are, because even though on the left hand side you can search for certain books, the the truth is you may not even know what to look for. So these reading lists are very useful with that. It contains what's new in the library. We try to mention popular authors. We talk about the Rosie program, of course. I try to have some collections that hit on some of the classwork that's being done in the building, as well as special months and groups of people who we celebrate throughout the year. So we have things about censorship, we have things about Native Americans and Hispanic culture, LGBT resources, Trans 101. For those people who struggle with reading, we have high interest books for reluctant readers. These tend to be a little shorter, but the subject matter is something that is relatable to people who are more mature. We also have a good collection of books related to civil rights, certainly for people who want to know more about American history and how it relates to civil rights. I would encourage you to start here. We're definitely building on that as we go by, as time goes on. Strong girls, strong women, obviously promoting different female voices and protagonists in books. And then we have our horror book list for those people who want to just scare themselves. So we have these book lists. I'm going to be adjusting these pretty frequently throughout the year, but if there is something that you want to know more about, or if you're just like, I like this type of book and I want to, what are all the books you have that are under, this subject? I'll make a reading list. It's very simple for me to do, so just reach out. The final thing I'm going to talk about are the tabs here on the top. Home is where we find these 3 columns. Explore is a way to find books by different categories, pictures instead of words, some words, but pictures. I've featured what is new in the library, and these are just some books I've added in the last few days, but we'll be adding more. We bought a couple hundred books in the springtime or right before we went on spring break. So this is just a handful of them. Popular titles are some of the books that were being checked out before we left in March. Reading lists are exactly what you would have found on the right-hand column, but a little bit larger. And then library news. So library news is here for just updates and things that are going on in the school and in the library, of course. And you may not notice this, or I should have maybe pointed this out at the very start, but you were able to access and look at all of these parts of the library page without even logging in. So it's pretty nice, and I do hope that you take some time to check it out, because it is my best way of communicating with you when we are far away. So yeah, that ends it for the very first video, and check out more if you want to know about the details of this page. Thanks.